Good morning. This is Tom's Radio Room Show, and my name is Tom Stiles. And what my little buddy here is trying to tell you is we've been studying up on this new Eton radio that I just got in a couple of days ago. And it's a brand new design. Well, it's an upgrade of an old design. And I'm going to do a series on this radio. I've already done a kind of an introduction on the radio. And then I'll eventually do my report card and then end up doing my reception report video. So today we're going to do something a little different that I haven't done in the past. And the reason being is this radio is what I would consider an upgrade to existing radios. And those radios are the Grundig 350 and the 450. And I mentioned how they were similar in my previous video, and I decided that I would take a copy of the new 550, they call it, Eton 550 radio, and the Grundig 450, which this is very similar to, and compare the two manuals and kind of go over the differences. So we're going to try that this morning. Here we go. So, oops, I'll probably bump my camera about 12 times. So I'm going to go through this manual and show you the differences as I see them. There are probably other differences that I may miss, and if I do find some other differences that I missed, I'll include them in some follow-along shows. First thing I noticed in the manual, and these two manuals are very similar. As a matter of fact, it looks like that Eton took the Grundig manual for the 450 and just modified it. And so there's a lot of paragraphs that are exactly the same, and they're in the same order. So it was pretty easy to compare the two manuals. So the first thing I noticed is under, and I excuse myself if you can't read what I'm showing you, because my camera just doesn't pick it up, but I'm going to read it to you. Anyway, one of the differences is the battery type. And on the 450, it took 6 D-cell batteries. On this radio, it only takes 4. On the 350, it only took 4. So that's a slight difference. A little less weight since it only uses 4 batteries instead of 6. Okay, the next thing I noticed is under using AC power, it says to use for the 550, it says to use a 6-volt DC adapter, which comes with the radio, by the way. And on the 450, it used a 9-volt battery, a 9-volt AC adapter, excuse me. And on the 350, it used a 6-volt. So power-wise, this radio is similar to the 350, not the 450. Okay, we're going on here. This radio has a Q-tune feature, which is, since it doesn't have a keypad, it can take a while to adjust the frequency up or down rapidly, even though you've got a fast mode and a slow mode tuning for the dial. So what they did on both radios is they have a feature where you can punch a button, and it's called Q-tune here, and it will jump up in frequency. And for this radio, it jumps up 1,000 kilohertz or 1 megahertz when you're in the FM mode or the shortwave mode, and 100 kilohertz when you're in the medium wave mode. So that's a difference. Okay. A new thing that this radio has that the 450 nor the 350 had is RDS info, which is where FM stations broadcast, some FM stations, not all, broadcast along with their signal some digital information that can give you information about the radio station itself, about what music is playing, or just some text information. This radio has it. This is a new feature to this radio. So that's new. Okay, the tuning speed, the speed at which the frequency changes when you turn the dial, is changeable on this radio by using the timer A/tuning steps. So you push that button when the radio is on, and it will go from stop to slow to fast. On the 450, there was actually separate buttons for selecting those 3 tuning steps. So that's slightly different. Design basically the same. Okay, now one thing that is similar on both radios that I don't like in either radio is when you want to listen to shortwave, you have actually 3 shortwave bands you have to choose. And if you're tuning close to the top or the bottom of one of those 3 bands, in order to continue to tune, you have to switch to the next band, either up or down, depending on whether you're tuning up and down. I never have liked that. It's that way on the 450, maybe on the 350, and it's still here on the new radio, the 550. I would have thought they would have eliminated that and had it be continuous tune. So, unfortunately, that's still there. Okay, moving right along. And like I say, there's not that many differences, at least that I've found. Okay, now, new, I believe, and I looked through the 450 manual and it's not there, is a sleep timer. And that's where you can set up a time that the radio will play and that it will automatically shut itself off. And it has a lot of intervals on this radio. It has 90 seconds, 75 seconds, 45 seconds, 30 seconds, 15 seconds, 10 seconds, and even 1 second. I don't know why you'd use that, but there it is. So I don't think that feature exists on the 450, so that's a new feature. So that's nice. The other thing that's a new feature on this radio is the backlighting of the display can be adjusted. And if you hit, let's see, where is brightness button right here. You see you can change the brightness. You can also, there's a switch on the side that will turn the display off so that, you know, for some reason it's on your nightstand and it keeps you awake. You can turn it off. I don't know why you do that, but there's a feature for that. So that's one difference, is this has a sleep timer. Now, one other new feature, I believe, is on the 550, on this new radio, you have, as you heard a few minutes ago, you have a fairly loud beep when you hit some of these buttons, depending on whether it's on or off. And that can get kind of annoying for some people. So it does have a button that you can turn that beep off so that it doesn't occur. You don't get that feedback beep. I like the feedback beep myself, but maybe if I used it a lot over time, it would be annoying. I don't think there was a beep on the 450. And I know there wasn't anything. It didn't mention it in the manual, and I don't remember it. So that's new. And one thing that was lost in this radio, probably not a big deal, depending on whether you did that kind of thing, is on the 450, which is quite unusual for this price range of radios, the 450 and this radio, is it had an intermediate IF output on the back, jack on the back. and this radio doesn't have it. And it was used to, for instance, feed to your computer or some other device to do some decoding of some digital data that might be available. That's one use of it. And like I say, the higher end radios, you know, $400 or $500 radios, a lot of those had that. Many of them didn't. And some people, if their radio they had, whatever it was, they wanted to use that feature, they would open up the radio and find that particular circuit and bring out a lead so that they could use that lead to do whatever they want, decoding or whatever they want to do. So that feature is gone with the 450. I don't think it'll be missed. So it's gone. So that's it. Gone through the entire manual. Price-wise right now, and it varies all over the place, you can get the 450, say, off of Amazon for about $60. Now, of course, when it first came out, it was much, much more expensive than that. This being a brand new radio, and it's got some additional features, like the RDS, it's $120 off of Amazon right now. So that's the price difference if you wanted to go buy one right now. And if you want those additional features, I would go with this radio. So that's kind of the situation right now. If I find additional things, differences, whatever, I'll bring them up in some of the future shows that I do. I'm going to do my report card review and go through all the features of this radio, and then I will do a show on reception testing. Although reception lately, I don't know what's happening this year, but reception on shortwave has really been iffy. Some days it'll be great, other days it'll be bad, and I mean extreme. Like I tried to listen to shortwave the other day, and I thought my radio I was using, the 750, I thought it was broken. I couldn't get anything on it, not even WWV, and it was just conditioned. A couple of days before that, all the stations were booming in. And that's kind of the nature of shortwave, although typically it kind of runs in waves, and you'll have, you know, good reception for a month or two, and then it goes bad, depending on solar conditions will affect it. But I have really fallen behind on my reception testing and reports because of that. So anyway, that's the show for today. Again, we're going to do some more shows on this brand new radio. And if you enjoyed this show, please give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.